Have you ever felt that something's off with reality? Like it's all too synchronized, too perfectly timed, almost scripted? What if I told you a scientist actually proved that this world is just a hologram and then vanished without a trace? This isn't a sci-fi movie, it's real, and what he discovered could completely change how you see your life, your mind, and your power to shape reality itself. Stay with me, because once you see this, you'll never unsee it. There are moments in silence, right between breaths, where the veil thins, and in these spaces one can feel it. Reality is not what it seems. It's as if the world is less of a solid structure and more like a living thought, suspended in the vastness of an invisible web. This is the sacred echo of what Jacobo Grinberg once dared to describe, a holographic matrix where perception is not passive but creative. You don't live in the world, you project it. In this vision, the walls that separate mind from matter dissolve. What we see, touch, and experience is just one frequency of a grander symphony, a projection of consciousness. Like the patterns formed in a kaleidoscope, reality takes shape as we shift our inner lens. The matrix responds, not to effort or force, but to vibration. Through Grinberg's insight, we're invited to explore reality not as a fixed set of circumstances, but as a mutable landscape shaped by perception and awareness. He wasn't merely speculating. He was sensing what many of us intuit in moments of deep meditation or stillness, that we are creators cloaked in forgetfulness. In this holographic universe, every thought becomes a seed, each emotion a ripple. The boundary between the observer and the observed fades, hinting at a non-local connection, a term that quantum mechanics knows all too well, dancing close to the mystery of the EPR paradox. And when we start to grasp this, we stop trying to chase reality and begin to sculpt it. Have you ever experienced a moment so strange, so perfectly timed, it felt like the universe itself was responding to your inner world? That's not luck. That's not chance. That's consciousness resonating within the fabric of the interconnected universe. This is only the beginning, because once we understand that we're not inside reality, but reality is inside us, everything shifts. And what if what you've perceived as life was just a flickering image in a much greater dream? We'll dive deeper into the forces Grinberg uncovered to activate the matrix itself. Have you ever felt lost, disconnected from who you really are? I created 3 transformative ebooks to help you reconnect with your true essence. Click on the link in the pinned comment and begin your transformation now. In the sacred geometry of consciousness, Grinberg discerned patterns far subtler than science had dared to see. He called them Synagy and Syntera, not mere words, but keys to unlocking the energetic scaffolding of reality. Imagine them as invisible threads that respond to the quality of your attention. Synagy is the force of unity, the harmony born when minds align, when intentions resonate in shared frequency. It's how souls whisper to each other across distance through the quiet language of non-local connection. Syntera, on the other hand, is the sculptor, the mechanism by which intention collapses the infinite into the tangible. Through Syntera, thought doesn't just drift into the void. It organizes, it structures, it becomes. Picture a drop falling into still water. Waves ripple outward. Now imagine that drop was your consciousness, and the water, the holographic matrix itself. You don't just exist in the world, you participate in its architecture. The alchemy of these forces is best accessed through altered states, meditation, trance, breathwork. Practices that silence the noise of the physical senses and allow you to touch the quantum code beneath the surface. Have you ever felt your thoughts click into place with uncanny timing, or had a sense that someone far away was thinking of you, only to have it confirmed? These are traces of Synagy, echoes of Syntera's subtle design. When used consciously, these forces transform your role from passive experiencer to deliberate manipulator of reality. You begin to speak the universe's native tongue, not in words, but in symbols, feelings, energy. And this is where the veil begins to lift, where ancient mysticism and quantum physics shake hands. But beware, this knowledge isn't merely intellectual, it demands embodiment, and those who dare to channel it often disappear from ordinary sight. Are you ready to learn how this dance of energies bridges human thought with the mysteries of space-time? We step into the quantum labyrinth. Did you enjoy the content and it made a difference for you? Click on Super Thanks and support our work. Imagine a reality where time folds in on itself, where particles communicate across galaxies in the blink of awareness. This isn't science fiction. It's the frontier where quantum mechanics touches the soul. Grinberg's theories echoed the infamous EPR paradox, a riddle that left Einstein uneasy. It suggests that two particles, once connected, remain bonded beyond space. But what if this entanglement wasn't just for particles? What if our minds, our very consciousness, were entangled too? Meditators, mystics, and dreamers have long known what physicists are only beginning to explore: that thoughts can leap across distance, that a focused mind alters its environment. In this quantum dance, the observer is not neutral. They're a conductor, a participant. When you meditate deeply, entering that timeless void, you're not just relaxing, you're reaching into the matrix. You're activating the field. You're proving that consciousness isn't confined to the brain, it extends into the cosmos. These aren't just poetic ideas. They're mirrored in quantum experiments where measurement changes the outcome, where potential solidifies only when observed. Your gaze, your focus, is not passive, it's creative. When you visualize, when you feel deeply, you're not just dreaming, you're collapsing probabilities. You're rewriting the code of your projection of consciousness. Have you ever had an experience shift after you let go or imagined a different outcome with clarity? That wasn't coincidence. That was quantum alignment. This is why ancient traditions have always revered inner stillness, ritual, and sacred focus. They weren't mere superstition. They were tools for navigating the holographic matrix. And now, modern physics circles back, confirming what shamans always knew, that we are interwoven in a non-local web of being. Every thought, every breath ripples through the invisible grid, waiting for us to remember our role in this divine experiment. But if the universe listens to your thoughts, who or what is really doing the listening? We unravel the sacred blueprint of the interconnected universe. The stars don't just shine above, they echo within. This is the truth hidden in the pulse of the universe. Everything is connected. You are not an isolated being floating in randomness. You're a node in a vast, intelligent network. What Grinberg hinted at, and mystics have long whispered, is that this web isn't metaphorical. It's literal, energetic, a synaptic cosmos where thoughts, emotions, and frequencies intertwine to form the projection of reality itself. Have you ever felt the presence of someone before they called? Or sensed a shift in energy before an event unfolded? That's not imagination. It's resonance. In the interconnected universe, your consciousness is like a tuning fork. When you shift your inner frequency through meditation, gratitude, or focused intention, the matrix around you responds. It's as if reality adjusts itself to match your internal state. Your life becomes a mirror, not a mystery. This network goes beyond logic. It transcends distance and time. It's the thread that binds quantum physics to the sacred, science to spirit. When you step into alignment, life starts to flow. The right people appear, synchronicities multiply, and struggle gives way to grace. You stop chasing, you start attracting. The universe doesn't just respond, It conspires. This isn't just law of attraction, it's vibrational entanglement. You become the synergy, the very harmony of the field. And when this awareness anchors in you, something shifts. You stop asking, why me? And begin to ask, what is this showing me? Life becomes less about outcomes and more about attunement. You walk differently. You speak with more intention. You breathe in rhythm with the cosmic heart. And just when you begin to truly see, the mystery deepens. What happens when someone uncovers this truth, lives it, and then vanishes without a trace? Brings us to the chilling enigma of Jacobo Grinberg's mysterious disappearance. There are absences that speak louder than words. In 1994, Jacobo Grinberg, neuroscientist, mystic and visionary, vanished without a trace. No evidence, no farewell. Just silence. He was at the height of his research into consciousness, non-local connection, and the holographic matrix. A man who dared to question the limits of perception itself disappeared into the very mystery he sought to unveil. For many, it was a tragedy. For others, a message. Grinberg had long danced at the edges of accepted science, proposing that reality isn't a fixed stage, but a malleable field of information projected by consciousness. He spoke of Synagy and Syntera, forces that shape experience beyond space and time. His insights hinted at something far more profound than personal transformation, the very reprogramming of the matrix in which we exist. As his studies advanced, so did the energy around him. Some say he accessed something not meant to be touched. Theories flooded in. Some point to government involvement, suggesting his work posed a threat to the dominant paradigm. Others believe he was taken, perhaps by extraterrestrial intelligences, intrigued or alarmed by his discoveries. And then there are those who feel in their bones that he succeeded, that he didn't disappear, but transitioned, not into death, but into another frequency, another layer of reality, one we can't yet perceive unless we, too, awaken. His absence remains a powerful mirror. It invites deep reflection, not only on who he was, but on what he unlocked. In losing him, we gained a timeless question. What if the true path to freedom isn't found through escape, but through inner mastery? Grinberg's legacy is not just scientific, it's spiritual. It urges us to expand, to explore, and to remember that reality is not given, it is created. Now that you've seen what lies beneath the surface of this so-called reality, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you keep living on autopilot? Or will you start bending the matrix from within? Tell me in the comments. What's one moment in your life that made you question reality itself? I read every story. And if you're ready to keep unlocking hidden truths, subscribe and activate notifications, because the next revelation might just shift your entire universe. If reality is a hologram, then what powers lie dormant within you? In the next video, we uncover ancient Rosicrucian secrets to unlocking psychic abilities and why most seekers get lost in the astral fog before ever finding the truth.